My name is Kenny Oyeniyi, aka Opera Kenny. I'm welcoming you to yet another edition of your favorite show, my show, and your view, where we discuss series of topics ranging from marriage to politics to travel to education, to mental health, gay child, boy child, any topics that will be beneficial to my audience. We bring guests that have seen those feats, we bring them on and we put them on the hot seat so that they can share the experience, and by sharing you can get insight and helps your decision making in life. So today is yet another show. My last guest on this show was AY Instinct, one of the upcoming hip-hop artists in Nigeria. And I believe you enjoyed the episode. Today, I'm bringing a very great person to this show. We'll be discussing topics that are very crucial, topics that are trending in the world, not even in the country, it's trending in the world presently, and it's as if there is something wrong somewhere. So we'll demystify the topic today, and I believe you would have benefits that you will gain from the show. My name is Kenny. You call me Opera Kenny, and it's my show and your view. My guest today on the show, her name is Aderonke Akinyemi. She's a longtime friend. She's a mother. She works as well. We've been together for some times now, and I believe she have experience in what we are discussing today. She also anchor events. She's one of the few female MC that is around, and she's doing pretty well in that field. So she's here today to talk to us about her experience on our topics, and I believe you guys will enjoy it. So just sit tight, find a bottle of Coke, find some popcorns or cookies, and let's enjoy the show together. I can assure you it's something that you will not want to miss. So let me bring my guest in, Mrs. Aderonke Akinyemi, MC RONKY. You can on your video and say hi to my audience. Hello.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. And you?
So, I'm fine. Just give us a little bit of, I know you very well, but my audience, let them meet you. Just tell us a little bit of yourself, what you think we should know about you.
Okay. I am Akinyemi Aderonke, just like as I said. But I'm popularly known as MC RONKY.
Okay.
Because I anchor events, any events of your choice, not necessarily wedding receptions, birthdays, bridal showers, anything that has to do with parties anywhere. You can always count on us. I'm married to Akinyemi Olumide.
Wow.
And I have a daughter. Yeah. So
that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. If I may ask, so welcome to the show. It's my show and your view. So we just get your view on some questions so that it can be beneficial to people that are listening. So we'll put you on a hot seat, but it's literally not an hot seat, so don't be scared. So if I may ask you, how long have you been married now?
4 years.
Wow, that's cool. So I'm your senior. That's cool. 4 years is not bad. And if you describe it in a phrase or 2 words, How has the 4 years, how has it been?
In all honesty, it has been nothing short of amazing. You know that phrase that they used to say that it is because you are not there yet. That is why you cannot experience what it feels like. Regardless of what people say marriage is, for me, it has been blissful. Like, it has been an amazing journey for me.
That's it. That's actually the intent. God instituted marriage, or our culture instituted marriage so that it can be enjoyed, not to be endured. It's instituted to be blissful. But we are seeing series of things these days, and that's why what we are discussing today is just marriage and sex. That's what I want us to talk about. Marriage and sex. I've been opportune to talk to different people that are married, and one of the key issues that I think causes misunderstanding between them, as minute or small people may think sex is one of the issues that most of them are struggling with. So I want us to talk about marriage. Is it necessary to get married? Is it compulsory? Should I get married? How should I get married? So those are some of the questions that I would like to get your views on, and some questions on sex as well. So let's get everything from you. Don't hide anything. Say it the way it is. So the last time I had this kind of show on marriage, I brought three great women. I think 10, maybe 10, 4, and 2 years in marriage. And we really, I would say it's my best show so far since I've started this show on YouTube. They were very, very explicit in what they were saying. And the first question I asked them is what I will ask you. Do you think it's necessary to get married? Is it necessary?
So that question here, it is okay. So I would like to diversify it, right? Based on the scriptures, it is.
Okay. So I don't want you to answer it as a Christian. Just answer it as a layman. You are not Christian, you are not Muslim. Do you think it's necessary?
No, it's not.
It's not necessary. Why do you say so?
Okay, so for me personally, marriage entails so many things.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't love yourself enough, I don't see any reason why you should say you want to get married.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Then secondly, if you don't have tolerance for even yourself, you cannot tolerate yourself, how much more another person? I don't expect that you should say you want to get married. So getting married it takes a whole lot of work. It takes a whole lot of patience. Like, there are so many things entailed in getting married. So if you are not made yourself, if you are not seeing value in yourself, I don't expect that you should say you want to get married. So that's why I say marriage is not compulsory for me.
Why was it compulsory for you?
Okay, so for me, I had a purpose. I know I had to have a companion that I was going to. Of course, I had people that I was speaking with. I had people that I was sharing some of my feelings with. But then I still needed much more. Mm-hmm. Then aside that, I also needed to recreate and have my own children that would call me mommy. And I can also see and raise other generations from myself, right?
Thank you. So, just picture me that I'm not married and I'm single, and I come to you and I'm asking you, how do I know that I'm ready to get married? How do I know? What are the signs? Do I need to see some signs? Is it money? Is it that I'm working in oil and gas and I'm earning good money, or I've reached puberty, I can impregnate a lady, or I have a big house? How do I know I'm ready to marry? I'm set.
Okay, so for me, the yardstick is not always about money, like people or like some people believe. It's not always about money. First thing first, you need to, once you have a vision that you want to carry on, just like I said, that I know I needed to recreate, to have other people, to have generations after me, so my generation would not end with me. One major thing that you need to look out for to know that you're actually ready to get married is, do you love yourself enough?
Mhm.
If you love yourself enough and you're able to give yourself the maximum love that you require, then you would also be able to give out to another person. Because the honest truth is, what you don't have, you cannot give. Now, I tell some people, I tell them, love is not enough to sustain a marriage. There are so many marriages today that yesterday they were telling themselves, I love you, but today they've already hit the rock. So it is not just about love. Two, you need to know if you are ready to accommodate another person in your space. That's another thing you need to. Once you know that you can accommodate another person in your space, you know you can cater for another person within your capacity, you know you are able to share your feelings without without being secretive. Because the honest truth is, marriage has to be very open. You can't say you want to get married and you'll be keeping secrets, or you'll be hoarding information from your spouse. No. So the moment you have all of these things, then you also need to have a job. You need to have something doing. You cannot say you want to get married and you are lazy. No. Even Adam in the Bible, God had to give him a job first before giving him a wife. So you have to have a job. You might not have it all figured out. You might not have a house of your own yet. You might not have your own car, but at least you have a roof over your head. You have something that you are earning that is enough for yourself and is also enough to cater for somebody else. So
Okay.
then is God also leading you to, like, are you actually sure that you are ready to be a leader in the house? That is, as a man. If you are going to get married, it means that you are ready to take up that father figure. You are ready to take up that leadership role in the house. You are ready to be the leader in that home. And as the woman, you are ready to be the builder of that home. You are ready to be a supporter. You are ready to make things work regardless of whatever the issue is, aside violence, right? You are ready to submit. You're ready to make your visions aligned with the person you want to get married to. So all of these things, like, they come into play. If you don't have them figured out yet, then I don't think you should be saying you want to settle down, right?
All right. Thank you. That's deep. Recently, we've seen a lot of marriages crash. A lot of people that started well, lovers. Some had big weddings, some had small. Some people were even praying that they pray they have a husband or a wife like them. But along the line, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, everything crashed. There's a celebrity currently that something like that is trending presently, and people were disappointed that it could happen to them. And there are a lot of online in-laws that some are fighting for the husband, some are fighting for the wife. So what do you think are the challenges? Some of us that are still in marriage, maybe we can learn. I have someone close to me also that started very well. In fact, he's a pastor, he prayed, he did everything. But along the line, after some years, maybe 8 or 7 or 10 years, the marriage failed still. What do you think are the challenges? Why are marriages failing these days? Why is the divorce rate, why is it on the increase, unlike before? Before is like a stigma, even to say it out that you want to leave your marriage. People will see you like, are you okay? But now they will even celebrate you when you are out of the marriage. So what do you think are the challenges? What is chasing people out of marriage?
Okay, thank you very much. So that question, yeah, it's a very deep one. But for me, the first thing that I feel is beginning to cause all of this unnecessary divorce here and there is lack of communication. One. Secondly, we have the social media influence. Now, there are so many things that somebody can just wake up one day and come to say, especially if the person is well known or a celeb, can just come up and say, any man that would not give you 1 million naira as your pocket money does not deserve you. And you know, the generations that we are beginning to have now, they are this, it is whatever this person that I'm aiming to be my mentor or that I'm looking up to, whatever he or she says is correct. That's the era that we are now. Everybody just wants to follow whatsoever is happening in social media, but that's not it. Then, like I said earlier, lack of communication. See, the minute you are beginning to stay far away from your spouse, you are beginning to create a wall. You are beginning to create a barrier in your home.
So it's distance.
Yes. So it is not just, so when I mean communication, of course, you can be with your spouse and you guys are talking, but you're not communicating. Communication entails getting feedback from the other person. So I would cite an instance. If I'm beginning to feel that I'm not loved by you and I don't communicate it with you, I don't express myself to my spouse to tell him, these are the things I know you used to do before, but of late, I noticed that you have not been doing this, I've not been doing that. If I cannot communicate well with him, there's no way he would know what I am passing through or what I expect him to do. But many times, we just want to take the matter to social media and hear what they have to say. Then whatever they have to say, we will now come back to use it to start judging or using it as a yardstick in the home. No, that was not the basis. That was not how you started. Then you also need to understand why you are even in the marriage in the first place. Why did you sign up for the marriage in the first place? What was your motive? What was your intention when you were saying, yes, I do? What were you looking at? Is it that the man that you loved, that you said is your everything as of yesterday, today now is no more your everything because of whatever reason best known to you? But for me, I feel that lack of communication, it creates distance, it creates barrier. You will start bringing third parties into your relationship, and the moment third parties start having opinions about your relationship, forget it, that relationship is going down the drain. So the best thing is you and your spouse, whatever the issue is, figure it out, speak, communicate, understand your differences. See, nobody is perfect. I am not perfect. My husband is not perfect. But then it is in our imperfection that we should be able to sit down and align things, make things aligned. Don't make it about yourself. Then don't be a selfish partner, because that is another thing that is causing all of these things. You cannot be saying every time you are always the right person and the other person is wrong. There are times that you are also wrong. So you need to accept. Don't be a selfish partner. Accept it when you are wrong. Make amends where necessary. Don't just feel like you have it all figured out and the other person is now a bad person. You are the only good person. No. In fact, when you start thinking that way, there's a problem already.
Okay, so all these that you are saying, do you know them before you get married or after you get married?
Both. So I learned some of these
Now, I'm
things.
not saying during counseling, pre-marriage.
Yes, that's
Do
what
you
I'm
know
saying.
them while you are single or when you enter the marriage?
Both. That's why I said both. Now, I grew up in a family of love. I grew up in a family that we are very open with ourselves. I've seen my parents have been married for 34 years.
Wow.
They are still together. and we grew up in that house. In fact, I got married from that house, not like I left and I grew up and got married in that same house. So I've seen several stages of their marriages. It's not like theirs is also a perfect marriage, right? There are some things that I see that they do, and in my mind, I'm beginning to tell myself that no, when I have my own husband or when I have my own children, I'm not sure I want to do this. And there are some things that they also do that I know that no, this should be a culture that should be imbibed in my home. And I'll take, for instance, every day we do morning devotion in my house. My daddy is always the one coming to wake us in the morning. In the evening, it is my mommy that will call everybody to pray in the evening. So that way, I know that in my home too, I should replicate the same thing. We run an open policy in my house. Whatever happens, you don't go to bed to sleep and you start carrying grudges all over. Whatever happens, you make it known. Tell this person, this is how you have behaved. I don't like what you have done. And everybody apologizes and we move on. That way too, I know that as I'm getting married too, or if I will be married, I know that I should also replicate the same thing in my home. And there are some other things that I learned too when I got married, not necessarily before I got married, because the honest truth is, marriage is a black market. It is when you get into it, that is the only school, like they say, that you get the certificate before you graduate, right? So there are some things that I realized when I got married, and I would cite an instance. Somebody like my husband, he does not really talk. In fact, he's more of a listener than a talker, right? But along the line, I found out that, like, I had to make him realize that, see, you cannot just continue to listen to me so that at the end of the day, I will not be a talkative. You also need to air out your own feelings. You need to tell me things that are happening with you, right? And to be very honest, now it looks like he's the champion in that area at the moment. And that's because we have built it over time. That's why I said communication is for any relationship or for any marriage that will thrive, communication is very, very important. Very, very. Because I had communicated all of these things, it was not like he started doing it in the immediate, but because I was doing them, so he was seeing it, and because he was seeing it, he started replicating the same thing. There are times that your partner might not know what to do or how to go about it, but if you are able to do it or show them how to, I mean, for everyone that wants their relationship to thrive or to work, they will definitely find a balance around it, and you will see them coming around to do the things that you want them to do. So I learned before marriage, and I'm learning in marriage as well.
Okay, that's good. So someone said maybe 60 or 65% of marriages that are failing are due to infidelities. So most people say it out. Most people you just realize they are not together, or you will not get to the bottom line of what happened. But statistics have shown that most of the reason are infidelity. You see, this celebrity here is cheating, this one is cheating, that one is cheating. How do you think couples should handle infidelities in marriage? Because it can happen. It can happen in my home, it can happen in your home. We don't pray it happens. But should it be the end? If someone fucked up, if someone make a mistake, maybe it's intentional or accidental, but it has happened, how do you think couples should handle it?
So you see this matter, right? It's a very serious one and a very delicate one, infidelity. I know there was a time I used to say it that I don't pray my husband ever is caught in that web. But by adventure, that he is caught in that web. It now depends on how deep or how long is in it for.
So it depends.
To be very honest. Now,
so if it's very deep or long, you won't forgive him.
No. It's not like you cannot forgive. It's not even about forgiveness. Now, if I no longer get the attention that I desire from you, like I'm no longer relevant, you don't see me as a thing again, you no longer see me as your wife, I'm now like a second fiddle, then it means my peace is, for me, my peace is very, very paramount. I'm just being very honest. My peace is very, very paramount. Once I see that my peace is threatened, I would rather take a bow.
Most people that cheat accord the required respect for their wives. They will not, and that's why it's difficult for most wives to discover that their husband are cheating. You still be special. They will still get you gifts. They will still come home in the night. So what if it's something like that, and you later find out?
For me, we would still communicate. It's still about, see, all of these things, they still boil down to communication. We will still communicate. Tell me, what are you looking for? Am I not satisfying you? You see people that cheat, although we have people that they just want to, they're just, I don't know the English, I'm being careful of the words I want to use here. They are just cheaters. So, regardless of what their wife do. I know of somebody that she had to go and work out because she felt that the man wanted slim ladies. She became slim, but yet the guy still kept on cheating.
Maybe the guy wants some other things that he cannot, because of the way we are brought up. There are some, it's because we that are getting married now, because we are not even Gen Z yet. We are old men and women. It's because of how we were brought up. There's some things that you cannot even ask your wife. And we will get there now when we start talking about sex. There are some ways that you would want to have sex that you don't want. It's not that the poor woman will not even give you that way, but you be like asking my darling wife to do like this is somehow. But if they go outside and they ask those ladies, even before they ask, some of them we take them there. So most times that's the issue.
So it is still okay. It is about communication. I've said communication like how many times on this show?
I've seen people that are communicating, and they're still struggling with cheating. That the husband even communicated what he wants. My darling, this is what I want. This is how often I want it. This is where I want it, and they are still struggling.
And so it is based on, so like I said, marriage is a place of balance. You cannot have it all figured out at once. Okay, imagine somebody that has not been giving blowjobs before. You've never had it. I mean, I love somebody that will say, the mouth that will pray and sing to God. I will now use it to, what is that? These things, they take time. You don't expect that somebody that's not been doing it over time, you just come home. In fact, it should even start raising suspicions that, where did you see it? Who told you? Where did you learn it from?
He enjoyed his youth. Maybe that's what he did when he was single. He was doing it very well, enjoying it. So
that's what
maybe
I'm
the
saying.
reason.
If they had communicated well during courtship, there's no way you would not know these things.
So you expect me to tell my darling wife that I love blowjobs while we were cutting?
I don't understand. These are basic things that you should mention. Whatever it is that you know you like.
Blowjob is not basic.
Wait first now. No. So I'm being very honest now. I'm a preacher of whatever I will do when I get married. Before I get married, I will let you know. This is me. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. If after I've told you, you find me worthy to want to still remain with me, no problem. But if you feel that it is to the extreme, I mean, you can always take a walk. It is not a do or die affair. That's why I said marriage is not compulsory. It is not a do or die affair. There are so many things that you cannot take. But because you want to get married, you just say, okay, let's go and marry. Then you now get into it. You now start having challenges. No, talk about these things. Don't hold back. Because the honest truth is, when you hold back and you now want to start revealing them one way or the other, you will look like a pretender. That's the honest truth. Because while we were courting, I was not seeing all of these signs that you would be somebody that would like blowjob, you will be somebody that will want to be giving me
because
head.
most people, you don't sleep with each other while you were courting. So how will you know?
So how did you know that you will like blowjob? That you said maybe that was what you were doing before?
Because maybe most guys that get married, 85% of the guys have had sex. Why is possible 50% of the ladies that are coming into marriage have not had sex? So I've had sex. I've had thousands of girlfriends. I've done all the jobs, the blow jobs, the eye jobs, everything.
And so why did you not share? So why did you not share with her? How do I share?
I cannot practicalize. I need to put it into practical. And I don't want to sleep with her before we get married.
No. So it does not. So
that's one leg. That's one leg. No. Another leg, I've seen people that told me that while they were cutting, they were even having everything. Blow jobs, different style. You can chain the lady to the window. You can chain his leg to the ceiling. The lady gave him all the freedom. But once they get married, immediately they get married, the lady said, I'm a wife now. You can't be sleeping with me like that. You can't be doing this to me like that. And the guy have enjoyed it. He's used to it. So you are a wife now. You think your body is now sacred. I can't do all those things that I've been doing before you got married. That's another angle.
So you see there's a problem. Now let's take it from the first angle. Just like the way we are always telling ladies that if you've had body counts and you're ready to settle down, explain to the person so that, no, I'm being very honest. You know, I said it before.
Body counts. Like someone that our body count is 35.
So
I will run away if someone.
But you had 1,000 girlfriends that you slept with.
Culturally, maybe I'm allowed to.
No. So there's nothing like culturally maybe you are allowed. For me, I'm a preacher of whatever applies to the male gender should apply to the female gender. If the male gender cannot be open enough to say, these are the things I've done, these are the people I've slept with, then I don't think the same thing should be imposed on the female gender.
Society doesn't see it like that.
That is the issue. We should not be biased. Whatever measure we want to put on the female should also be placed on the male. If you are expecting that a female should open up and tell you, I've had abortion, I've done this, I've done that, and you, as the guy, you've had like one, in fact, there were times that you even had STDs. And
I can tell my wife that I can tell her my body count, but I will never, even if she wants to tell me, I will tell her not to tell me. What will I do with it? I will just give myself mental stress. It doesn't change anything. I can tell you I've had body counts. I have 14, 15. But a guy getting known that the wife to be had 47 body counts, he will run away.
Okay, so let me shock you. Imagine that you don't get to tell your spouse, right? And because we've seen it happen. And on your wedding day, the best man is part of the people that you have slept with before. Mm-hmm. Now the best man goes on to tell the husband. Mm-hmm. What do you think would happen? How do you expect the man to feel? For some people, that marriage will not continue.
I will be angry if I had given her the opportunity for her to come through to me and she did not mention it. But if I did not give her the opportunity, I won't be angry.
That is what I am saying. You said you would be angry if you had given her the opportunity to say it, and she did not say it. But now you just said again now that you don't expect that somebody that has had that number should mention. See, it is for safety. It is for, I'm not joking now. I'm not saying, for some people they had their reasons why they, some of them were using it to fend themselves in school. Some of them, for whatever reasons that they had, that is for them. But I feel that if you would be getting married, whatever would eventually cause a damage in your home, whatever your spouse would hear outside, and he will come and use it to react when he gets to the house, or she will come and use it to react when she gets to the house, or that would lead to the end of your marriage, just spill everything. Let the person know. So it is now up to the person to decide, okay, I have heard you, I would still go on with you, or me, I cannot continue. And the person leaves. It is your peace at the end. That's the way I feel. I mean, that's the way I feel, to be very honest.
Okay. I have two more questions and we'll go. This is like 2-in-1 questions. Then I will ask the last one. How important is sex in marriage? We've touched based on it. How important is sex in marriage? And how often do you think couples should have sex?
Okay, so for the first question, how important is sex in marriage? It is very, very important.
Some people don't see it like that. They said it's stressful.
So
especially the wives.
So I don't know why you are marrying on the wives, because I know that these days we have, especially these present Gen Zs, they are up for it at any time.
And so what of you that are not Gen Z? You that we happen before, that we marry before Gen Z.
Okay, so me, I'm a millennial, right? Yes. And even as a millennial, like I said, I know the importance of sex.
So how important is it?
Sex brings bond between husband and wife. It is also a stress reliever for husband.
To husband or to wife?
Both. Both. I still saw a video somewhere recently that the wife was saying if the husband is struggling to sleep, just to give him sex, he will sleep off. So sex brings connectivity between husband and wife. It is very, very important. Let's just leave it at that. It has so many other benefits, but then it is very, very important for a marriage that would thrive. It's not like that is the only thing that you'll be doing in the marriage, but then it is also an important deal in the marriage, for any marriage that would thrive. So then the second part of the question, how often should you? As often as you want to, depending on the availability of both spouses.
So do you think couples should have timetable for sex? Because there are homes that they have timetable. Once we have sex on Sunday evening, it's until Wednesday night, then Saturday morning. Do you think there should be timetable for it?
So for that timetable, right, I don't subscribe to timetable. Why? Now imagine that you are on the day that it is not on your timetable. So what happens?
You will compensate it with another day.
No, so there should be flexibility, right? I'm not saying it is only jobless people that would be looking for who they want to sleep with every now and then. Somebody that has a 9 to 5. I've left the house since 5 a.m. Okay, so this is Nigeria. I've left the house 5 a.m. I've gone through the hustle and bustle of Lagos State. I am back maybe around 9 p.m. The only thing that is in my head at that time is I just want to eat and sleep. In fact, for some people, they might not even eat. They just want to sleep, right? But then there are some other people that they have very high lipidos. And regardless of how tired they are, they will still want to go down. Now, for people like that, having timetable will not work, right? And there are some people that, because of their work schedule, because of the things that they do part time, they feel that, okay, these are our free periods. These are times that we have the best moment of ourselves. Let us work towards this time so that we can always have the best of ourselves whenever we want to have sex. So it depends. But for me, I am not a subscriber of timetable for sex, because on the day when you are saying, okay, so let me cite an instance. If you are saying we would have sex on a Wednesday and on the Sunday, on the Wednesday, what if I'm no longer in the mood, or I've had a very bad day?
Then you that's where sacrifice come in. Maybe you just consider your spouse and just have it.
So that is the issue. So you are having sex, but you are not satisfied. You are not fulfilled. You are just having it just for.
Do you think every time couples have sex in their lives, your parents are 34 years, do you think in those 34 years all sexual intercourse was satisfying? Some are sacrificial, some were just being considerate. Let me just give her.
I understand that part of being sacrificial, right? But how long would you sustain it for?
It's not every time, it's just once in a while.
Exactly. So imagine people that would not have to be doing it on a constant basis. So that's why I said, for me, I don't subscribe to timetable. But if timetable is what works in your home, we have what works in our different marriages. I would not use my marriage as a yardstick for you, and you will not use your marriage as a yardstick for me. In my own house, timetable will not work. In another person's house, it might work because of their schedule. So do what works for you in your home. But above all, don't starve your spouse at any time, either the husband or your wife. If you know that you are not feeling at your very best, communicate. And there's a way you will communicate. You're not saying it in a nagging way that kilo checking a problem, no. But you're making the person understand that, see, babe, I'm not at my best today. I'm feeling very awful and I'm not even sure I can go ahead. Now, if the spouse is an understanding person, I don't see any reasonable person at that time that will still want to go down with you, knowing fully well that you are not at your very best. So it depends on the way you are communicating these things to your spouse. That is what would help with all of these arguments. Yeah.
My last question was, a man of God, a big man of God, said in one of marriage ceremony, he was preaching to the new husband and wife, and he said, anything you do on your matrimonial bed is holy. Do you support that? Anything couples do on their matrimonial bed is holy. Is it holy? Is it holy, or there are some things? I'm just saying, because there are some wives that there are limits to how you can go. I have friends that they cannot even kiss their wife during sex. I have friends that they cannot touch their wife during sex. I have mine also. I have what I'm facing with my wife as well. Everybody have one or two things. So there are some that there are limits to how you can go, and there are some that they give you the freedom. You want to have blowjob, you want to do this, you want to do that, they are free. But in some homes, especially Christian homes, they will tell you, some wives will not even allow you to have sex with them apart from missionary style. They will tell you, am I a dog? Am I an harlot? Do you think that's how it should be? Or anything husband and wife does is holy, so far it's on your matrimonial bed and you are married together? It doesn't mean how people see it. It's our body. We can do anything we want with it, or there should be limits.
Okay, so for that question, right? Husband and wife, sex was made for pleasure. Before procreation at all, it was made for pleasure. Before procreation. So if whatever I'm requesting for, if we are both aligned, then whatever you do on your matrimonial bed is holy, as long as we are both aligned. But just like you said, that some people feel like they are extremes. Now, how extreme is extreme?
So if I'm not aligned with you, but if you are my wife and I want something and we are not aligned, you don't want it, but I want it. How do you handle that kind of a thing? And I want it,
So
but
it's
you
a
don't.
two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. Like I said, some of these things, they take time. And on the other hand, for peace to reign, you can just sacrifice it and let it go. Now, I would cite an instance for somebody that is very chubby, probably maybe a wife that is very chubby. You cannot be, imagine you're now coming to tell her that you want her to stay head on the bed and her leg should be up. To be very honest, it just feels like you just want to punish her unnecessarily. That's the honest truth. I mean, there are plenty styles to be done. Whatever would bring displeasure to your spouse, whatever would make your spouse feel unloved at that moment, the best thing is don't do it. That is my own school of thoughts. There are things that we can amend. There are things that we can get better at. For Christian marriages, I tell my friends, for some of my friends, I tell them, it's not only missionary style. Every time you just lie down on the bed there and you're just there. It's only the man that is always, no. You too, as the woman, you can be on top. You can ride.
It's not biblical.
Where is it written in the Bible? Please show me.
Eve doesn't ride Adam. It's Adam that rides Eve.
Please show me where it is written.
That's where we get the name, mommy and daddy.
No. So that is what is killing many of our Christian marriages. We should not be static. We should not be stagnant. We should be open to learn. There are so many, even if you don't want to be on top, there are so many things that you can do. Don't just lie down there like a log of wood and you are just there. No. With time, just like you said, there are so many people out there that are ready to give him 100%. Even the ones he's not asking for, they will give it to him. So, but the honest truth is, it is not like it is enough to tame a man not to cheat, but it has a limit, right? If he's asking for this, you are giving him. If he's asking for this, you are giving him. The day that he would ask for something else and you would not give him, he would not feel unloved. He will not feel offended. He would, for somebody that is understanding, right? You would know that, okay, I guess this one area I be buying it. But not like everything that the man is saying, I want this, you say no. Come and ride, you say no. Come and lie down, you say no. Oh yeah, wrap your leg around me, you say no. So what do you now want? How do you now want the marriage to thrive? When will they not still go outside and go and do what they are saying that they should not do? So it's a place of compromise. That's the honest truth. Marriage is a place of compromise too. You cannot always remain the way you are before you go married. Now you are married, you belong to yourself. If he's saying this is the way I want to be pleasured, even if you cannot. So blowjobs, I used to feel like, what is this? Oh my God, like, to be very honest. And it is not like it is what I do on a regular. But then, if he wants, if he's asking for it, if I can at that time, why not if not? But then if I cannot too, because there are some times that you feel like you just feel irritated, right? But why should you even feel irritated by your partner in the first place? I don't see any reason why you feel irritated by your partner. But if you are feeling irritated, or you are an irritable person, then there's a place of understanding between. So that's why I said communication is very, very important. You see, I've already gone back again to communication. You need to understand your spouse. You need to understand what your spouse would take. You too, don't be an overbearing partner that anything that you see out there, you're coming home to come and say, oh yeah, or my wife, let's come and do this. No, my house is not a it's not a dumping ground where you just come and dump everything that you are seeing on the internet. No, it is not everything that is proper. But then there are some things that you can do. There are some things that you can learn and be better at. Don't just be a stagnant person. Learn. We learn every day, and we are evolving every day too.
All right. Thank you.
And one more thing, right? So for me, the extremes or the extreme that me as a person I would not take in the bedroom is when you are saying you want to have another person come, you want to have twosome, you want to have threesome. I don't understand.
No sane man will do that in his matrimonial home.
Exactly. So those are the extremes for me. Anything that would look like punishment for me, that would make me feel, that would make me sick at the end of that period, we are not going to do it. The only thing that I feel that you should allow is allow whatever your spouse wants that would make both of you happy. Now, if it would not make the other person happy and he or she wants it at all costs for peace, allow. But if it would bring danger to your health as a person, please, by all means, run away from it. By all means. But if it will not bring danger to your health, if it will not make you terrible at the end, I mean, why not? You can always go all the way. So that's that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Let me just ask this: is just a yes or no question?
Okay.
Do you support LGBTQ? Yes or no?
What's LGBTQ? To start with.
Okay. That's why I said, Yahoo Pastor. Do you support people that are lesbians? Do you support lesbianism? Yes or no?
No.
Do you support gay?
No.
No. So you don't. So if I call you tomorrow that I don't have feelings for my wife again, but I have feelings for one Richard, what will you say?
What warranted? Were you not having feelings for the wife before? How come you know?
That's why I am now. I love Richard. What will you say?
For me, right, I would speak to you in the best possible way.
Don't speak from a point of Christian. No, don't use Bible. What will you say?
That's what I'm saying. So I will tell you to go back to the basis of why you got married to your wife in the first place. Because I don't know what you're looking for in a guy. I mean,
what if I've never been married? I'm single and I said I want to settle down now, but I'm settling down with Steven.
But even science says it. You cannot be. How will you be attracted to the same? No,
but
now
it's happening now. People, there are some countries that they've even legalized it. You can marry.
Yes, I agree. But then it does not make it. It does not make it sane.
Why?
It does not make it the right thing.
Why? That's your view. To them, it's right. They have right over their body. So why do you think it's not sane?
Well, just like you said, it is their opinion. My opinion is I am not a subscriber to it.
So ladies that are in love with themselves, you don't subscribe to it. If one of your friends call you tomorrow that she just fell in love with another lady, well, you stop being friend with her, what will you do?
I will not disown her. That's the honest truth. I will not disown her. I will not stop being friends with her. But there are some discussions that we would not be having.
Just because she have identified herself, what her body is telling her. Maybe that's how she was created.
You just said now that we should not go the spiritual way.
Yeah, maybe that's just who she is.
Nobody was made to be like any. See, all of this.
But it was in the Bible. LGBTQ, it was even in the Bible. That's why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Before it was destroyed, it was existing.
Now, if it was not proper, or if it was a proper thing, I don't believe God would have destroyed that country.
But it was existing before. That means some people can be created like that.
No, they were not created like that. They made themselves like that. They were not created like that.
Okay, so now that they've made themselves like that, don't you think it's right for us to accept them?
No, we cannot accept it.
We cannot accept them in our society.
No.
So if you are in a position just like Trump did in USA, you support that decision, that policy that he made in USA, about that he said the only recognized sex at birth is male and female.
Male and female, yes.
So people that are not male, people that are not female, we should not accept them into our society.
There's nobody God created like that. Anybody God created, they said, the scripture says he and she.
Have you heard of hermaphrodite before?
Now that is a genetical disorder.
Yeah, so it's possible. Things happen.
No, so that's what I'm saying. That because it is a genetical disorder, it does not make it the standard. Right?
I just think whosoever or else, no matter what anyone decides to be, we just need to accept them and show love to them. That's my view. It doesn't matter if you are lesbian or you are straight.
Like I said earlier, I will not throw the person away. I will not start discriminating and saying you are not part of us, right? But I will not allow the person influence my own decision.
Because you understand? Because you like.
That is the angle I am coming from. I am not saying that I will see them and I will not throw them away. No. I'm not saying I will see them and I will start saying, no. But I'm only saying that whatever it is that you are, whoever you have chosen to be, will not rub off on me as a person.
Okay. If we can turn back the hand of time, will you marry your husband again?
Over and over again, 1 million times, as many times as I can.
Wow, that was romantic. Thank you, Aderonke. Thank you for answering our call. Thank you for coming on the show. Hopefully, if we call you again, you'll find time for us to come and share your insight on some other topics.
I sure will. Thank you for having me on the call.
I've enjoyed you. I've enjoyed the conversation. And hopefully people have learned as well. People that are watching this, they've learned one or two things. Marriage is created to be enjoyed. Sex is important in marriage. There shouldn't be limits to how you should enjoy your spouses. So far, there is alignment and the right communications. So till next time, that might invite you to come, which I'm sure you will answer the call. Thank you so much. My regards to your husband and to your baby girl. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on the call.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. All right. That is the end of the show today. Till next time, that will be bringing another guest on my show and your view. I'm sure you've learned one thing or the other. It's my show and your view, so we bring people to share their view on different topics. Till next time, when you'll be meeting me, my name is Kenny. I'm Oprah Kenny, and I'm the anchor of the program, my show and your view. Till next time, when we'll be meeting again, I say God bless you and enjoy your marriage. Bye.